Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Disable Wealthy right here on the Mini On Cam YouTube channel. I'm your host, Minnie St. Clair, and I'm so glad you're here today. The amount of running around I did when I should have been on at 10 a.m. It's now minutes to 12. So happy you're here. For too long, the narrative around disability and money has been one of scarcity, limitations, and simply surviving. Hold on. I know. Okay. Simply surviving. But here at Disabled Wealthy, we are breaking the status quo where 1 in 6 people with disabilities live in poverty. Poverty rates for people with disabilities remain twice as high as those without disabilities. We believe that financial empowerment and wealth building and living a life of true freedom are not just dreams, but achievable realities for people with disabilities. In this case, episodic disabilities. Now, today's episode is going to be a bit more personal. Instead of hosting a guest, I'll be giving you a real life update on my own journey living with multiple sclerosis, relapse remitting multiple sclerosis, and multiple conditions: bipolar disorder, ADHD, PTSD, complex PTSD, substance use disorder, hypertension, lymphedema. There's some stuff. Navigating new disability supports, can disability benefit, and what it looks like to keep moving forward after a relapse. Right now, I have active lesions in my C2 and C3, and my neurologist believes I'm having a breakthrough relapse, which means I'm on a disease modifying drug treatment, teriflunomide. I've been on it since December 2020, and as of August 2025, I've been having numbness and tingling and muscle spasms in my arms, and it's a brand new symptom because it's in my right arm, but it's an old symptom when it's in my left arm, and it's been a very challenging August, September, October, and I'm just trying to make it through. Uh, Relapse. I'll also be sharing updates on my financial peace journey. I'm inspired by Dave Ramsey's Baby Steps, the 7 baby steps to financial peace for everyday millionaires. And I've been following his journey since 2017, and I got serious about it in 2018. And now I'm back on baby step 2, and I will talk more about that in the show. How I'm working on building stability while living with episodic disabilities. They're episodic in the nature of relapse remitting multiple sclerosis, bipolar disorder, and bipolar disorder comes with depression and seasons of hypomania. And my hypomania also triggers my ADHD. It's been fun times. It's fun times. Before we dive in, if you're finding valuable in these conversations and want to support the work we do here at Disabled Wealthy, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can also be a generous supporter by scanning that QR code. It's on my right over here in the corner, where it says support mini and then QR code, which will take you directly to my Ko-Fi link. Your support helps us continue to bring these vital discussions to our community. All right, let's get started. Yay. I like that intro. It took me so long to get it right. As in me and ChatGPT trying to get those words right. So yeah. Okay, so segment 2. What is that? So we did the introduction. Have you ever felt trapped by a financial system that wasn't built for you? Built. I also don't have my glasses, okay? Um, I really need to get a second pair of glasses because every time my glasses go in to change lenses, so I do my eye exam every 2 years, but ODSP says they cover new lenses, new frames every 3 years. I'm always 1 year ahead of when I do my eye exam, and then sometimes I need to change my eye prescription for my glasses. This time I have 2 prescriptions for glasses, but ODSP is going to pay for one of them. And then the other pair of glasses that I really, really like, it's going to cost me about $500 for the frame. It's coming from France. My other glasses I wear, they come from Denmark, but they have this like grandma vibe to it. So I like wearing them. They remind me of my grandmother. And then the second prescription is for distance, but I'm going to pay for the maybe the blue locker glasses on the distance glasses, because if I wear them at the computer, it should be okay. I'm going to ask them about it when I go back in to pick up my other glasses. But basically, I need to, part of the whole financial plan in the medical category of my budget, I need to put money aside in there to buy my second prescription glasses, not covered by ODSP, as a medical expense for me. And yeah, I just, if you're wondering, where are my glasses? Yeah, I'm yes, I'm struggling to see the computer screen right now. We'll make it through. We'll make it through. Okay, that was not about segment two. Segment two is this. Or am I right now? My October 2025 financial snapshot, which I may be able to share my screen. Okay, we'll go with every dollar because I need to update my every dollar. And then my spreadsheet budget, we will, don't need the disability thing yet. All right. Okay, put these over here. This one over here. So chat is open. I should have checked the screen. Hold on. Let me share something that people know I'm live right now. I'm live right now. I know. Rushing to get everything together. Everything together. Come join me. All right. I do everything by myself for this show, and I really need to figure out how to add planning for the live stream in my schedule, because I hate rushing. I mean, it's a weird thing. I don't like rushing, but rushing, I seem to get more of my ideas out than when I plan way in advance in the week. So that, and then hopefully, if the show makes more money, I can hire a producer to help, because this would be so much helpful. But I gotta figure out if I'm hiring a producer that's like digital and we talk through chat and text messages, or one that's in the room trying to get me to calm down on Saturdays. That would be kind of cool if I have a producer that's here on Saturdays and they make some pocket money on Saturday just to help out. That'd be interesting. I gotta figure out how to do that. See, now I got ideas on Saturdays. Okay, live right now. Don't need that now. All right, tab close, not show. Show stays here. Super chats. Answer. Answer your questions. Yeah, there's so many. Like I didn't realize. Like, and then YouTube just added. Oh no! What did it do? When it says please try again later, I'm always worried. It's so funny. It says please try again. I'm like, what happened? Okay, that works. Can I hear me? Yes, that works. But my sound is coming from the speakers and not my headphones. Okay, there. All right, that is the show. Here's here's the studio. Okay, okay. All right. So share my screen. And we can do it this way. We share the screen, and I go back and forth between checking the stats of the show. Yeah, I need like 4 screens. Okay, so right, every dollar, that tab. So I've been budgeting with every dollar since the beginning of my debt-free journey. Oh, I don't need me anymore in the corner of the thumbnail. Okay, so here's every dollar. And I'm down in the corner, and then I take off segment 2, where I'm at now, my October 2025 financial snapshot. And then, great. Okay, so every dollar. I like it because it's a very simple budgeting app. Like it's super simple, the budgeting app for every dollar. So October, I've been paying off debt because I made money to make sure my emergency fund is at $1,000. Very happy about it. Um, Mostly from honorariums. So a lot of charities, they will pay people honorariums to attend their workshop or give consultation on policy changes they're trying to propose to the government. Sometimes academic research, they need people to participate in the surveys to, basically they want to get their PhD or they do more research on poverty, like Wellesley Institute. So honorariums for me is a side hustle, pretty much, in my budget. It ramped up a lot last year, where I made like $2,000 in honorariums, which was impressive. Where I will stay connected to enough charities in the ecosystem for honorariums, but I need to make sure I make my own money. Yeah. Okay, so I think my overpayment, not overpayment, my PC financial card minimum payment, the new bill came out. Where is that? I think it's 113. I don't think it's 116 anymore. Because the statement came out and I saw the minimum payment. Where is it? Okay, 113.52. So this is 113. No, number lock is not on. Okay, 115. Don't do that. I've been saying that a lot, so it's funny to me. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so we're paying, actually, we're not even paying this down. We're paying this first. Oh, we're paying that first. Hold on. Give me a minute. Where's the minimum? Is that 41.72? Okay, so 41. I'll check it. Wait, can I check it? I think I can check it. I can check it over here. I think. Can I? Yes? All right, let me stop sharing. Let me stop sharing because I want to make sure I get. Because I'm on baby step 2 of the Dave Ramsey baby steps. Oh, is that segment 3? No, we're not there yet. Um, right. We have talking points. I totally forgot about that. So, quick recap of the financial peace journey. I'm on baby step 2. Debt snowball time, but with disability friendly twist. Yeah, the disability friendly. I have a disability overpayment of $1,710.11, and it the next payment date for this ODSP is October 31st, and my full check amount is $1,779. They take away $81.15 to pay down the overpayment. Originally, the overpayment was like $6,000 during the pandemic, so like 5 years ago. And I never really was aggressive in paying it when I knew about the overpayment. I knew that I could pay back the overpayment on my own because of the rules before 2023. If I earned anything over $200, I would lose half of my disability check, and my disability check is what pays my rent. So I wasn't really like, oh yeah, let's pay down my overpayment. I was more focused on just surviving in the month. And then February 1st, 2023, the policy change of the income threshold you're allowed to earn on ODSP, which said you can earn $1,000, but anything above $1,000, your ODSP check is reduced by 75% on the dollar, which sounds bad, but you have to do it in action to really see how it affects you. So when I do it in action, and right, I'll show, oh, right, see, give me a minute. Let me just do the thing first I thought I said I was going to do. Let me log into our credit card and double check my minimum payment on something. I think it'll be on the statement. I wanted to explaining and I wasn't even finished what I had to say. or do. Okay. Can I log in? Yes. Get in. Like logged it. Okay. So they got my payments, which is great. What is the last statement? Okay. October 2025 statement. I basically have two credit cards due at the beginning of the month and then two credit cards due at the last half of the month. So 16, 16, 17, 18, PC Financial, Capital One will post their state financial statements of how much I owe them for balances on those cards. And then the 3rd and the 5th of the month, so October 3rd, October 5th, 5 and 3, would be the financial statement for Canadian Tire and Simply Financial. Canadian Tire and Simply Financial minimum payments are usually under $50, and then minimum payments for PC Financial and Capital One are always over $100. So I have this weird way of balancing my month so I make it to the end of the month, but I honestly really need to aggressively pay off credit cards. And then with the disability overpayment, every month they take away the $81.15. It's almost $1,000 a year. It doesn't feel like that. $86 a month for 12 months is $1,000. Yeah, which when yeah, which means I could save $1,000 every year with disability just based on that because I already live off of 1,600. My rent is 995. It goes up $20 next year. And because we had a rental freeze, the schedule of when my certain bills go up has been pushed forward in the year. Because like I moved in August, usually 90 days before August 1st, I would know my rent is going up. But then they pushed it forward, so 90 days before February, I think. I'll pay attention this year. I'll try. But yeah, I just learned there's certain schedules of bills being due got moved around because of the pandemic, where I need to focus on making more money so that I have more money. This is why we're paying down the disability overpayment and then matching my contributions to my registered disability savings plan. I like to get the full $4,400 of disability savings grants and bonds in my registered disability savings plan because right now it's at $118,000. It's six numbers in there. And I want to add the 4,400 plus my contribution of 1,950 so that it's closer to $130,000 in 2026 when I reapply for my disability tax credit to keep that account open so I can continue getting grants and bonds deposited into my disability savings plan before I turn age 49. So I, the level of rules and policies and the order of my finances that I have to get them done. Wow, if I told another person, they'll tell me, oh, just wait. No, everything with the government when it comes to disability stuff has a deadline or you ask for an extension, which means more paperwork for me and more stress for me. Like disability tax credit, I know it's going to expire. I've been asking my doctor like all of this year, freaking out when do I apply for my disability tax credit because they didn't give me an indefinite date. They gave me 2008 to 2025. Bipolar disorder, multiple sclerosis, they're permanent. And the way I'm having symptoms where I can't use my hands in the full capacity I'm supposed to with the overpayment, you would think they would just tell me, oh, yeah, you're disabled permanently. Here you go. No, I got to do the whole bureaucracy dance and whatever. And then I have to reapply, wait till they approve it. If they don't approve it for whatever jacked up reason, I have to go find a lawyer to help me to fight against it and then have my doctor go through 20 years of my medical notes to tell them I'm disabled. Leave me alone. Ow. I hit my hand on the microphone. Yeah. So when you tell me to slow down, you don't even know what you're affecting when you say that. like, like people don't even know what ripple effect happens when I slow. There's a routine I follow that I must follow to reach my financial destination. I moved something over while I was talking. That freaked me out like a roller coaster. Is this it? Yes. I put this back. Good. Because my desktop is here, but the second monitor is over here, and I don't have icons on this monitor. So yeah. Um. Okay. So available credit 4172. It is 4172. Okay. Minimum payment due 4172 October 27. So they got their payment then. They got more than their minimum payment then. Okay. Well, I did all the extra work for dramatic effect, pretty much. All right, we go back to $3. So then this 100 is going to go here on the overpayment. Oh, 227. Wait, 277.35. Wait, no, not that number. That's too big. Yes? And then 35 cents because the way that I owe ODSP $1,710.11, if let's say I only pay $1,710, they will take back 11 cents on my next ODSP check to pay them back. So I have to make sure when I go to the bank or the Canada Post Office or Money Mart and I order the bank draft money order, it has exactly the amount I'm paying them back for the overpayment. So when I bring it to a caseworker at the office and they add it to my file and they send it to the Ministry of Finance or the province, that debt is gone. Okay, let me give you the visuals of the numbers. Wait, oh, this didn't change. Oh, hold on. Okay, I'll show you this. Where did it go? Every dollar. Okay, so yeah. Now we're in segment three, where segment three, Dave Ramsey babysits the Canadian disability twist. Now, this is where the twist is happening. Okay, and then on screen chat is open if anybody wants to say something, because it would be nice. So 81.15, that's the disability overpayment. $1,710.11, that's the balance of my overpayment right now. But this is now first. Oh, good, here it is. Oh, really? Interesting. Huh. I'm just fascinated by what it used to be and what it is now. Yeah, the payment is going down. So like there's some people that have an overpayment for disability that's over $5,000. And everybody's different. There's over 1 million people on Ontario Disability Support Program and Ontario Works. Ontario Works is welfare. Ontario Disability Program for people with disabilities. But Ontario Disability Support Program is income support and employment support. But depending on the nature of your disability, you may not be able to see how work is possible for you because of the demand of your disability or the nature of your disability or how your disability affects you to multitask and executive function and remember all the things I'm about to describe that I do as a self-employed person with an episodic disability, multiple health conditions, able to manage my day-to-day activities. Because me having my muscle spasms in August, where my hand made a claw, it was spasming, it was twitching, it was pain. I couldn't do anything. And no matter how you told me, oh, it's not that bad, my mother, um, I wanted to slap you every time you said it to me. I did. Even now, still do. Um, because there was no way I could focus when I having a muscle spasm and I couldn't do anything. And if you were watching me interview Patrick on the live stream a couple months ago, oh wow, yeah, August I think I did that episode. My right hand wasn't working. I made it work, but I was moving it with pain. It's like you know when a wind is the windstorm is coming and it's pushing the wind is pushing you and you think you can walk against it. That's what it feels like with a muscle spasm. There's not much you can do except hang on and wait till it's over. So every time a muscle spasm is hanging on, wait till it's over. And sometimes a muscle spasm will last almost 2 hours. Like based on some of them were short, few minutes, but the few minutes of 90 seconds, let's say it's 90 seconds, that's a minute and a half. And I can't do anything, I can't move anywhere. And also, I learned the muscle spasms were also in my legs. It's just my legs had more power to move versus my arms. So the level of things I learned about having a relapse remitting MS episode that was affecting my arms and the functionability of my arms, I couldn't do anything. And then, yeah, people were coming over here and complaining about how the cleanliness of my apartment. If you're so worried about the cleanliness of my apartment, you can do it yourself. Really, do it yourself. Because y'all don't even know what it's like to have your body literally just stop functioning. And there's nothing you can do about it until it decides to return to normal function. And it's not going to give me a timeline. It's not like I know, okay, I have a muscle spasm and I know how long it's going to last. I could have planned my life around that if I knew that. I don't. Yeah. So, okay, muscle spasms, they're mildly under control, relatively. They're still my hands are numb even right now. Like, and the way my hands feel numb, it feels like there's texture on my hands. Like, trying to describe what it would be as an everyday item. Yeah, it's like, okay, it feels really like, trying to describe it, give me a minute. Because when I'm in the waiting room at my doctor's office and I rub my hands together, old people know what I'm doing. Old people know what I'm doing. They think I'm doing some new exercise. And I'm like, no, my hands are numb and I'm trying to figure out where they're not numb. So like every time I rub my hands, like the palm of my hand right now is not numb. But when the palm of my hand is numb, my whole arm will become numb. Right up to my shoulder to my rib cage. So how do you think I'm supposed to do anything with that? Again, like again, I'm talking to my mother when I say that. But how do you think I'm supposed to do that? And then her response is, "Oh, but you're okay." No, I'm not okay. If I cannot move my hand, I'm waving them right now. If I can't do that, there is something wrong. I talk with my hands. My peer group knew that there was something wrong with me because I couldn't talk with my hands. I'm talking with them now. Like my hands can tap me on my shoulder right now, both of them. When I cannot do that, this is how you know I'm okay. Kinda okay. Yeah, they're numb, they're stiff, but when I get a muscle, I can't move my pointer finger on the keyboard. You try typing keys very fast with only three of your fingers and you need all of them. It doesn't work. Everything is slower, everything is longer in the muscle spasm, which means that information now has to go on my disability tax credit application. So it helps ensure I get an indefinite disability tax credit date on my thing from 2008 for this first diagnosis of my one of my disabilities. Then you add on the second diagnosis of my second disability while keeping the first diagnosis of my first disability. The level of things I have to remember that people are like, oh, it's not that bad. You don't have to remember any of it. That's why you say it's not that bad. Okay, so where are we? Okay, we're still in segment 3. So let me show you Dave Ramsey's baby steps. Where is that? Here's the roadmap. Hold on. Learn the baby steps. The good thing about Dave Ramsey's stuff It teaches you everything. So, like, if you're watching this and you don't know how to budget, get into Dave Ramsey's ecosystem. They'll teach you how to budget, they'll teach you how to manage your finances in the foundation. Then everything else, like being in Canada, you have to find the Canadian information. Then, if you're Canadian, then you're on disability, you have to find the Canadian financial information. Then you have to find the Canadian disability policy information based on where you live in the country and if you're accessing provincial benefits or federal benefits. Each level of power ups, I'm using a video game analogy, that you add on, you have to remember they're there so you can use them. Like Super Mario, for example, you have flower power, you have star power, you have a mushroom, the small mushroom, the koala suit, Yoshi, eggshells. No matter what, Mario has to know when to use each of them at the right time to pass the level or beat the bosses at the end of each world until they get to the what's his name, Koopa? I forgot his name. I haven't played Nintendo in a while. So, but that's kind of the same thing about living with a disability. Like, what's your disability? Okay, I have bipolar disorder, multiple sclerosis. How does that affect me? Well, originally, my bipolar medication will make me very tired. Doesn't do that anymore. Something about the teriflunomide multiple sclerosis medication has leveled everything out. And multiple sclerosis not multiple bipolar medication used to make me very, very hungry, where I went from 120 pounds to 180 pounds. Yeah. And then luckily the weight stopped at 180. Thank you. And then now we're going back down. I'm at 175. But I feel like if I pay off all of this debt and then build up a sinking fund for my home gym, I want a spin bike, a rower, some weights, and then TV to have all the exercises play on the TV, and then like headphones and make it all nice in this section behind me over there of my living room. Fantastic. That way I have my home gym right in my face every single day. I'm not really eager to go outside to a gym or the community center to exercise. It just takes too much energy for me. And with multiple sclerosis and bipolar disorder and all the medications they put me on and the muscle spasms, I'm tired. And then when I have any energy to do work, like this live stream or dishes or laundry or doctor's appointments, I got a one lucky day where I did three things in one day. I did blood work, I went to the bank, I went to the pharmacist, I walked home. Typically don't do that many things in a day for errands. Two if I'm lucky. And I try to stack them with something else. Like I went to my doctor's appointment, then I dropped off the billing form at the optometrist's office to get the, the optometrist's office to build ODSP to change the lenses in my glasses. That was the plan. Then my mom was there. Then she had all this list of things she wanted to do. Did we go to church that day? No, church was a different day. Church was the neurologist, McDonald's, church. And then by the time I got to church and church was over, my arms were spasming. And then I had to walk home. And then, yeah, and then go to bed. And every time I wake up in the morning, my arms are spasming. So how do you, like, oh, you look fine. No, I'm not. My body is falling apart. And I'm trying very hard not to scream and say cuss words. That is what we're doing. I don't know why people don't seem to understand that. I don't have every dollar premium. I'm trying to show you the baby steps are. They used to be in here. Not paycheck planner. Alright, now how can I Dave Ramsey baby steps for baby steps? Here. Okay, good. This will help. Right. So I mentioned earlier that I saved my 1,000. It's there's $300 coming that will go into my $700 starter emergency fund for $1,000. Then we're going to pay down my disability overpayment first while I'm keeping the contribution match to my registered disability savings plan. Because if I don't contribute the full amount of $1,950 by December 31st, the government's not going to put in their total amount of $4,400 for me. It's based on my tax return, it's based on my eligibility, it's based on the dates of me being disabled. It's a big calculation for me based on my household family net income. And since my family net income is a single person, no children, not married, that is what I have as my legal tax obligation, financial obligation with the Canada Revenue Agency. Then my legal tax obligation, financial obligation with the Ontario Disability Support Program is paying down my overpayment of $1,710.11. Then, oh yeah, I have credit cards. Then I have a financial obligation with the credit card companies to pay them minimum payment, minimum requirement, or I pay the balance in full before the bill due date is due, so I'm not going to be charged interest. Then, oh yeah, there's prescriptions I take every day, there's doctor's appointments I have to attend, there's blood work I have to do, clothes, laundry, shoes, barbershop, hair, makeup, lingerie, webcam, and then rinse and repeat tomorrow morning. And church on Sundays. I put it in my calendar that Sundays I go to church. Ideally, it's I go to church on Sundays. I go for service at 9, maybe 11, depending on the mood. Sometimes I do both. Then after that, I go to brunch. Then I come home. Then I have leftovers from Saturday night making dinner, meal planning. And then I get online and work webcam after 5 p.m. until, what, 2 a.m.? Yeah, that is routine. That is what we're doing. Like, and this is where I'm like, I don't have time for your opinion about my disability and my health condition. You're not my doctor. Or the nurse that comes in on Fridays to do blood pressure checks. Now a blood pressure machine. Oh, good. I have the manual book for it here. Can I share? Stop sharing. Nope. Yeah. Wait. I'm not full screen. Here we go. This book I'm holding is the manual for my new blood pressure machine provided by Ontario Disability Support Program and a wonderful person at my Shoppers Drug Mart who was able to give me the machine. And then I had to go on Amazon and buy some batteries because it's 4 AAA batteries. So I bought a pack of 20 AAA batteries. So the skinny, short ones for batteries. Um, I thought they were AA, but no, they're AAA. So we have that, and I'm trying to check my blood pressure every morning. I will figure out how to check my blood pressure when I lie down. I don't see how I'm supposed to when the squeezing of the blood pressure cuff that you slide your arm in. It's supposed to squeeze your arm to bring your arm up to pressure, and then it monitors the pressure as it goes down. Um, Triggers. So what it is, so we squeeze my arm for. It happens the same thing when they put the tourniquet on my arm when I do blood work. How you doing, Guatemala? What timer? Hold on. I have no idea. So my screen is telling me I've been on for 38 minutes. If there's another timer on the screen, I don't know what it is. I have no idea. I can't even see it. Yeah, I just been live for 38 minutes. That question's freaked me out. This question freaked me because sometimes Restream has little like glitches in the system. So when you said timer, I don't see one on my screen. And there was a countdown timer before I went live because Restream likes to make its own scheduling for my live stream in Restream before I connect it to YouTube, and then I get two of them, and it's confusing. And I'm going to email support when I remember what it is so that they can not have that happen. But good to see you, Guatemala. It's been fun. Okay, so I lost track. Right, just okay, blood pressure. So yeah, the blood pressure cuff and tourniquet to get blood work. So tourniquet for blood work, they wrap a rubber band around your arm and they squeeze it so they can get the vein. Probably still these bruises still here. So they squeeze my but I feel it in my hand. And with my hands being numb from the multiple sclerosis. Oh, the gold timer. Oh, so that people can that timer. Oh, that one. It's because it's tracking how long I get super chats, and if I hit the goal for super chats, then I do a Q&A. But right now it's just Guatemala in chat. So like if there was like 20 people in chat and 10 of those people gave the channel a super chat, that helps the channel make more content, and hopefully I can hire help me with the producing of the show. Once we hit that goal, I answer questions of people, but it's just you. So the timer is just trying to track how quickly do we get to the goal of 10 super chats. I put it in here. Yeah, I'll answer your questions after 10 teal super chats. Oh, I didn't put it for any color. Oh no. Let me change it for any color because teal super chats, that's just not all of them. And then I'll answer super chat questions first. There we go. Yeah, go with 30 minutes. It's gonna work. Okay, I changed it because the goal made no sense to make it only teal super chats when all the super chats would help. Yeah, so there's not enough people in chat to work towards the goal of the super chats. But if we get 10 super chats, I'll answer the super chat questions first. Because I pretty much answer everyone's question in chat. It's just a matter of how many people are here. And then there's people on the replay. Like last week when I was there talking about everything going on with multiple sclerosis, 56 people watched the show and then people left comments after, which was wonderful. But in the live stream, nobody was there last week. So this week, Guatemala being here, fantastic. Yay. And I lost track of my outline. Right, blood pressure, Dave Ramsey baby steps. Right, which I'm supposed to share my screen about it. Right. I've been following Dave Ramsey baby steps since 2017. First round, I paid off $8,000 in 9 months on an income less than $30,000. And news right now is saying more Canadians are struggling to pay their bills and stuff. But I also think it's because they're not really like trying to make more money outside of their physical labor. Because I work real hard, but I never leave my house. Just so you know. I've never left my house to make a dollar in 22 years of my life. Everything I've done to make a living to the age of 40 years old has been a money making online. Adult webcam, affiliate marketing, coaching, buy me a coffee, selling courses. Yeah, the minute I got dial up internet, I was trying to figure out how to make websites. And once I understood how to make websites, I chose an online industry and I started making money in that industry. Then that industry led me to learn about affiliate marketing and traffic sales and um, click per action and click per pay per click. So like there was pay per order and then lifetime of customer spending. So like with the adult websites, if I my link sent the customers to the website and they joined and they become a member and they started spending, some websites will pay me 20% for life of the customer on the website. Some customers have still been customers on these websites for live stream adult entertainment since 2003 or 1996. Because 1996, webcam adult websites started popping up on the internet. So this live stream experience, I've been doing it for 20 years. That is, and it's what makes me money to this day. The main thing about webcamming, though, which is a little stressful for me, I've been doing it for 22 years. It's the only job industry I know. If something happens to that industry or the websites I work with, I'd be SOL and terrified because my only other source of income is disability benefits. So I have to put my transferable skills to use so that I can make money in other industries online, like online courses, more monetization on my YouTube channel, coaching people where people pay for coaching packages and I coach them through either their marketing or their finances. Like, right. So disability and finances. You could be a disabled person, go out there, get a job that hires you to work for them and they'll pay you. Great. Most people can't do that, or just they have challenges doing that. I had challenges doing that, of giving my resume, doing the interview, answering their annoying stupid questions. I'm like, where do you see yourself in 5 years, or what are your weaknesses? I don't know. I don't pay attention to them. I know they're there. I just don't focus on them. I try to focus on stuff I'm really, really good at. So what I'm really, really good at makes me money. That is what I do. So my brain, especially now that the ADHD is in full blown force, I'm not really gonna go out there into a job and do the interview or business casual or what about the lunch party? I don't care. So I had to find something that works in my personality and my tendencies where I can focus on my skills, focus on making more money, and focus on did I make sales? Did this convert? Who watched my live stream? Analytics. Analytics stats are more exciting to me than quality performance on how I answer the calls for the call center, pretty much. Because those are most of the jobs I got when I had a job outside the house before 2008. And then I got fired from my job in 2008 because a customer went to my adult website in the lunchroom and I got fired. We're rolling into 2006. I don't have the energy to go back into that environment just so that maybe the manager, hiring manager, recognized me from a website or some entertainment and venue that he was in that I was in doing my work. Because that happened with the Cineplex job. The manager doing my interview said, I look familiar over and over and over again. Where I had to not pay attention to that when people say I look familiar. When you tell me I look familiar, I already know you saw me online on an adult website over the age of 18 for mature audiences with sexual content. I've been doing it for 22 years. There's only so many places you can see me where I look familiar. For the majority of the time, I don't go nowhere. I stay home. So, hiring manager said, then at that time, 2007, 8, minimum wage was $8.75 an hour. I could stay home and make 10 times more money in American dollars versus go outside. And then the main thing, I usually quit jobs in the winter because of snow. I'm born in February, but I do not like going in the snow. I avoid it as much as possible. And I don't drive. So I have more reasons to avoid snow from January, February, March. Sometimes November, December, and October. Yeah. Um, because we've had snow in October before. I remember trick or treating in snow as a kid. So with jobs, no, I don't want to do the interview. Just pay me. Like really, like $8.75 an hour. Just pay me for showing up to the interview. That's already work. That's already a job itself. Just pay me for that. So yeah, like I've always had this weird buffer of if I got lost my job or I quit my job in the morning, by the afternoon I've made money online by the time I come home. Or I work my job 8 to 4, 8 a.m. to 4. I'm up at 5 in the morning trying to get out there in traffic, TTC, public transit, to be there for 8. And then hopefully I'm not 1 minute late or 2 minutes late and my supervisor's like, oh, you're late. Do you want me to stay here? Because I can go back home. Because the level of me getting there to do my job, and you're worrying about, oh, I'm late by 1 minute, when I could have just stayed home. And there's times like Rogers is outbound sales, trying to get customers to bundle their services for internet, phone, and TV, claiming that it'd be cheaper for them to get internet, phone, and TV all in one bill. Not really, but okay. And you basically read a script. And most of the time, you're talking to elderly people who answer the phone. I hated that job. I made 2 sales. After my second sale, I got up and said I quit. Got up, said I quit, and walked out the call center. Then the manager come follow behind me. Go, what do you mean you quit? You're doing great. You made 2 sales today. I said, I don't care. I'm going home. I gave him the key fob and I went home. I get it. Those jobs are not for everybody. But when you have to put food on the table and it's a choice between working $8 an hour or $15 an hour in a call center to answer the phone, because it was a weird timing. Like 2004, like 2009 or 10 or something, when they finally made minimum wage $11 an hour and call centers were $11 an hour. So you weren't really getting like anything different when you had a call center job that's paying the same money as a retail or restaurant job like Pizza Hut or McDonald's for minimum wage. Now, $17.60 an hour is minimum wage, which means I could make what, $34,000 minimum wage at $17 an hour out there. But I still make more at home because $17.60 an hour US dollars is $24.68. I'm still sharing my screen. Totally forgot about it. But yeah, that's what it is. So if I can stay home and make that at home and never buy transit, not buy new clothes, not always get a new wig, I save more money. I save actually thousands of dollars staying home. I found, and I'm less likely to get sick if I stay home and work from home. These are the things I discovered in 22 years of working from home. Less stress, kind of, not really. My blood pressure says otherwise. I know that much. But I'm less sick, especially with me with multiple sclerosis being immune compromised, and I have to go choose a B cell inhibitor treatment plan for the next round of multiple sclerosis treatments. All of them knock down my T cells and B cells. Because T cells and B cells, they work together. T cells in your thyroid, B cells in your bone marrow. Like they're trying to knock down my immune system so it rebuilds itself back up so it's not attacking itself. Because my original cells decide to attack itself. So then we're trying to put me on a medication that's cancer-like medication. Because that's just the way they operate. Because teriflunomide is in a family of other cancer treatments. And then Mavenclad has a risk of potential cancer, even though the risk of potential cancer with Mavenclad is low because when they did the study of it, they had the placebo effect. People taking the sugar water pill were still getting cancer, not as the same rate as people taking the Mavenclad. But depending on how you read the study and what you look at, you see Mavenclad and then cancer, but Mavenclad had nothing to do with cancer because the risk was still the same as the people without, not multiple sclerosis, without taking the Mavenclad for getting cancer, which means the cancer risk is everywhere based on how I read it. Yeah, I read a lot of reports for Mavenclad, Ocrevus, and Kazenta. Kazenta is a self-injection um, B cell inhibitor, and I have to worry about keeping it cold and traveling with it. But it's once a week for 4 weeks, Mavenclad, and I skip a week somewhere in the 4 week schedule. Then it's once a month I inject myself with the not Kazemta, not Mavenclad. Mavenclad is a tablet pill for 2 years, but 2 months each year out of the 2 years. So year one, for 2 months, I take Mavenclad, a pill a day for 5 days. And how many pills I take for those 5 days is based on my body weight. So ideally, if I could lose a couple of pounds before I start my Mavenclad, that'd be fantastic. I should really put that in the calendar. I never thought about it till just now. Yeah, damn it. 'Cause I'm wondering if my weight is down, do I take less pills or the same amount? And then, oh yeah, there's 2 years. So year two, for 2 months out of year two, I'm taking 5 days of pills based on my body weight. So it could be one pill a day or two pills a day. I have no idea. But then after year two is finished, of the 2 months of taking the Mavenclad for 5 days per month, total of 10 days, but spaced out in 2 months, year three and four, I don't do anything like prescription specifically for multiple sclerosis. I live my life, I show up to my appointments, and we hope I don't relapse. So year three and year four is the year of healthy diet and exercise, anti-inflammatory, one pot meals, trying to make sure that I stay on track financially with baby steps to invest 50% of my income so I become a disabled millionaire. Yeah, and then hope I don't get symptoms again, or less symptoms, less frequent, because they're saying that stats for multiple sclerosis, people after the age of 50, their symptoms of multiple sclerosis typically slow down. But for other patients I met, it doesn't. So everything is 50-50 of what could happen. And I'm trying not to worry about it because it freaks me out when I worry about it. Yeah, and then still take my bipolar medication at the same time. Yay. And oh yeah, blood work too. I probably do blood work every 3 months, same way. Oh man. Yeah. And then Mavenclad and Kazemta Ocrevus, they lower my immune system. This is also why working from home for me is my best option. Okay, so we are the baby. I did go over the baby steps. I didn't go over the order of how I'm paying them. I'm like, what? What am I missing? Okay, so the spreadsheet, this one. But you know what? I'm gonna play a video. Wait, unable to share screen. Yeah, I stopped it. So we're gonna play a video so I can use the restroom, and I'll be back in 7 minutes and 43 seconds. Let's try this one.
You know, for a lot of disabled entrepreneurs in Canada, the social support system can feel like, well, a trap. Earn too much and you risk losing the very benefits you need to survive. But what if you could flip that script? What if you could turn those complex rules from a barrier into a blueprint for building wealth? So today we're going to dive into exactly that by following one entrepreneur's incredible journey to financial sovereignty. And our guide for this journey is Camille Deandra Stewart. This quote really gets right to the heart of it. Look, this isn't just some theory, right? We're talking about a real, actionable plan that was forged in the fire of experience. This is all about turning policy into personal power. All right, so let's really unpack the core problem here. It's called the disability poverty trap. And it's this really cruel catch-22. The system is designed to give you a safety net, but for anyone with a bit of entrepreneurial ambition, that net can feel more like a cage. Think about it. The second you start building something for yourself, start earning a little more, you're facing clawbacks and the potential loss of essential health coverage. It actually discourages the very financial independence it's supposed to support. So how do you break free from a trap like that? Well, to really get the solution, you've got to understand the journey of the person who built it. Let's take a look at the crisis that became the catalyst for Camille Deandra Stewart. So Camille's story starts way back. For years, she was a self-employed professional. Then 2008 hits, and a psychiatric crisis just changes everything. Her business collapsed, and she was plunged into the social assistance system. First Ontario Works, then, by 2011, the Ontario Disability Support Program, or ODSP. But here's the kicker. Look at that final date. She is still on ODSP, but now it's on her terms, as part of a much bigger strategic plan. And wow, this really shows you what was at stake. Before 2008, she was this successful, financially independent digital entrepreneur, in control. And after, Her business was gone. No sick leave, no savings to fall back on. She was literally fighting eviction and struggling with her mental health. It was a complete interruption of her life. And it's this huge contrast that fueled her drive to find a different way forward. You know, rebuilding from rock bottom like that, it wasn't just a personal fight. It meant trying to find your way through this systemic maze, just filled with official barriers, limiting beliefs that the system itself pushes on you, and eventually her own hard-won breakthroughs. I mean, you can just feel the frustration in this quote. Her business was profitable, it was working. And the official advice she got when she entered the ODS system wasn't, hey, how can we help you manage this? It was, you need to give it up. Ambition itself was treated like it was dangerous, a threat to her stability. This is such a critical point. The system just wasn't built to support entrepreneurs. And that terrible initial advice, oh, that was just the tip of the iceberg. Her earnings got clawed back, like, aggressively. Get this, for 5 whole years, the system just ignored her income reports. She was told that her desire to be self-employed was weird, an anomaly. And the actual tools that could have helped her, like official workbooks on self-employment, were basically hidden from her. It's just a clear pattern of systemic discouragement. So all of this brings us to a huge question, right? When you're up against a system that feels like it's designed to hold you back, a system that punishes ambition and hides information, how in the world do you flip that? How do you turn its own policy from a trap into a tool for your success? Well, the answer is kind of simple, but it is definitely not easy. You do it by mastering the fine print, by treating the policy not as some wall you can't get past, but as a rulebook for a game you are absolutely determined to win. And that is exactly what Camille did. She built what she calls the financial sovereignty blueprint. So let's break it down. Let's look at the actual strategies she used to turn policy into her own personal power. Okay, the cornerstone of this whole thing, the absolute key, was ODSP Directive 5.4. Now, this is the rulebook, the specific set of rules for how they treat self-employment. Instead of seeing it as a threat and running from it, she treated it like a legal text to be studied, to be understood, to be mastered. She figured out that knowing this directive inside and out was the single most powerful wealth-building tool she had. Okay, so pillar number 1 of her blueprint was building a super strong health safety net. She used a strategy called stacking. The idea here is you're not just relying on one thing. So she'd start with her base ODSP coverage, then she'd layer on provincial programs on top of that, then add student health plans, private insurance. It's about creating all these different layers of protection so you're not totally dependent on any single government program. All right, pillar 2. This was all about protecting her money and squeezing every last drop of potential out of her income. And that meant she had to strategically use every single tool, every exemption she could find in that rulebook. I mean, leveraging that monthly income exemption to the max, opening an RDSP, using her student status to exempt certain earnings, and investing in things like segregated funds, which have built-in insurance protections, and getting supplemental insurance. These are all tools that let you grow wealth while staying inside the system's strict asset limits. And here's the really smart part. She didn't try to reinvent the wheel. She took proven, well-known financial frameworks, and she adapted them to her really unique situation. So she used Dave Ramsey's baby steps to figure out how to handle debt while staying inside the ODSP asset limits. And she used Donald Miller's flight plan to structure her business finances, basically getting it ready for that full exit from social assistance. And look, this wasn't just wishful thinking. She set a real, concrete, measurable goal, $5,000 US dollars a month from her business. That was the number. That was the specific target that would let her build her own private safety net, her own health insurance, her own savings, and make a full, confident exit from the system a real possibility. You see, this whole blueprint, it's about so much more than just financial tactics. It's really about a fundamental shift in your mindset. It's about making a conscious choice to move away from that scarcity mindset, which the system frankly encourages, to one of real, genuine sovereignty. And this here, it just lays out that shift perfectly. On one hand, you've got the scarcity mindset. It sees the rules as a trap. The focus is just on surviving, on the limitations. It makes you vulnerable. But the sovereignty mindset, it looks at those exact same rules and sees a tool, something to be leveraged. The focus shifts from just surviving to having a positive exit strategy. The goal stops being just getting by and becomes creating real wealth and freedom, totally on your own terms. And this This is the declaration that's right at the heart of her entire journey. It's a choice. It's about refusing to be defined by what the system says you can't do. It's the decision to actively go after wealth, to go after freedom, and to use the system's own rules as the rungs on the ladder to climb out. So, in the end, this blueprint, which was born out of one person's incredible fight against a system designed to limit her, it leaves all of us with a question. It's not just about policies and spreadsheets, it's about what it means to define your own freedom. It really pushes us to ask ourselves, what does my financial sovereignty look like? And what's the very first step I can take to start building my own blueprint to get there?
Good. I'm so glad there's somebody here. I would have kept talking. I would have kept talking. Okay. The video explainer is summarizing my upcoming presentation for the National Symposium of Disability Without Poverty. I should find their website. But they approved my abstract. And I recorded a whole video presentation specifically for their symposium in December 3rd. And it's going to be a Q&A live panel. It's free to attend. And there's going to be me and then other people that are in a similar topic as me discussing entrepreneurship and disability. I hope I'm talking with other disabled entrepreneurs in the panel. But my presentation lays out a full plan of what I've been doing since 2017 to 2025, where I'm very, very, very excited that I'm having the results that I was told was impossible because I'm on disability benefits and nobody wants to be self-employed, which I'm hoping the video explainer said that, because those are the challenges I face. Like, if I talk to other people on disability and I talk about entrepreneurship, they think it's too hard. I think it's because they don't grasp the concept of being paid to offer a service or a product without having a job employer attached to it. Like me working in call centers, yeah, I learned sales, trying to bundle people's services and stuff. Working for Shopping Channel, trying to sell people packages from QVC and all that stuff, I learned a suggestive upsell. Do I want to do that for ever and ever? No. Did I learn things? Yes. I learned to show up on time. I learned to pay attention to training and policies and execution and quality of service and being pleasant on the job and try not to put my issues onto the customer. Like, yes, I learned those things, but I could also learn those things without actually working for Rogers or Shopping Channel or Cineplex, Pizza Hut. Oh yeah, and then one was a greeter. Oh, I was a greeter for somebody signing up people for insurance courses or something for security guards. The dude did not want to pay me. And then he didn't want me to leave. I was like, look, I'm going to the bathroom. Either I do it here right in front of you or I go to the bathroom. Level of jobs where I literally have to just say, look, you may be my boss, but you don't control me. I'm going. That. entrepreneurship has this way of like, I can solve a problem, like disability benefits, financial independence. How is that possible? Well, the clues for that are in the policy directive. Every limitation, financial limitation set into the policy directive, if you exceed that limitation, you break free to freedom. Is that like, it's right there. But a lot of people can't see it. That part, my brain's like, how do you not? It's right there. Government of Ontario says if you're on ODSP, you have non-exempt assets of $40,000. That's the limit to stay eligible for ODSP for a whopping $1,408 a month. I would like to make more than that for high ticket affiliate sales, digital funnel that I run ads online and people join the funnel and then buy the product at their own time because they believe the product is going to help them solve a problem so that they can better their lives financially by learning how to make money online. Hold on. Some employers are super shady. Yeah, they are. Like that Caribbean restaurant that's not paying people, that's in a class action lawsuit. Yeah. When someone's like, oh, you're working at this restaurant, it's like, even now, my family, especially my dad, he thinks I don't want to work. I'm 40 years old. I had to figure it out in some capacity because disability benefits when I got on in 2011 was $1,064. My rent back then was $725 or $730. It went like either or 40. Can I find it? I might have it somewhere. A copy of my notice of rent increase from 2011. I think it's on my hard drive, the external one. I think it's over there in the cloud or something. But yeah, like for me to reach 18 to 40 and not work, sugar daddies are exhausting. They involve a lot of work. I've done that method. It works, yes. But then you get tired of the person, then you got to find another one or another method of making money. Eventually, you just have to figure out how to make money. Or you, like even panhandling, it's work. To show up at that location, to ask everybody that walks by for change, to get it, to manage it, to keep it, then go back and do it again. Now people do it online with their GoFundMe. It takes work. This is also why I don't understand why people have a GoFundMe when they should be able to deliver content, education, and material and knowledge economy, and charge a course for it. Like, courses, like online courses, the best like method. You have a super skill that you could talk about nonstop, where people literally, your friends and family don't want to hear about it, where you can charge people money to learn that information. You become the teacher and people pay for the lessons. Organizing the material is the most exhausting part. Like my presentation, I'll share the slides, but I'm not going to tell you the presentation. We'll do that because I organize them in a very, very nice, wonderful way that even my mom likes them. Okay, so this one has me talk about, let me do full screen. Okay, so this one, and I don't need, we're still talking about disability poverty stuff, but where did it go? Wait, I'm not asking, what is your I'm fighting back financial move right now? Is it attacking the ODSP overpayment, maxing out your registered disability savings plan to secure your future, or something else entirely? Well, I'm doing both. We know that. I'm paying down my overpayment with disability, and we're contributing the maximum amount for my registered disability savings plan for 2025. And chat is open. Hopefully we got more than Guatemala in chat right now. That'd be fantastic. And if it's the first time you tune into the channel, we are on Minnie on Cam YouTube channel, where this is a Saturday live stream of Disabled Wealthy. Okay, so back to the slides. This one is the Dave Ramsey baby steps. that is included in my 1 hour and 5 minutes, 55-second presentation that you can see the full presentation at Disability Without Poverty, December 3rd. Registration and things like that will be on their website. I will put their website in chat. So that way you can join their email list so you know when they're going to tell you when to register for the symposium. And it's, where was it? The whole point. Oh, no. What did I do? See, this one I don't like muscle spasms. My finger pressed something that it's not supposed to. I don't like that. I really don't. Like, I'm trying to do the live stream. I need my hands to work. Then one of these hands flicks over here to a different key and my whole screen is gone. I hate people telling me I'm fine. I'm not fine. And if you have the ability to use your hands in full function with no problems and no issues, you're lucky. Yeah. So I'm looking for the symposium. Disability Without Poverty. December 3rd, UN International Day for Persons with Disabilities. Disability Without Poverty will be hosting a virtual research symposium so that we can learn from our situation today and aim to make changes for tomorrow. After an opening keynote, the day will be divided into 1 hour sessions. Well, mine's 1 hour and 5 minutes. So they'll figure that one out. We encourage creativity for virtual presentations, panels, workshops, and any other method to disseminate information and encourage participation. So do I share this screen or this screen? I mean, this is a slide in the presentation. Let me show you what all 8 of them look like. So all 8 of them look like this. And then I finally got the ODSP self-employment income deduction calculator to work, and it's in the presentation. I also had to make it short and not over explain everything you would see on that slide that's in the spreadsheet. And then one of my video explainers I've used in the past to calculate the disability FU money number, which is my disability payment, 1,779 times 12, which is 21,400, I think. 1779. Why are you over here? The calculator. 1,779 times 12, 21,348. And then I times that number by 25. My disability FU money number, which is my financial independence number from disability benefits, is 533,700. But I have to add, I have to add the disability over, not the I have to add the Canada disability benefit number to that number. Oh, well, I'll add that to my spreadsheet later. I realized something. I'm not including that number. So $200 a month for the Canada disability benefit. I get July to January. I get $1,400. At the times that by 25. Then I add that to this 500,000 number. So 1,400 times 25, 35,000. Okay, 35,000 to that number. So 1,779 times 12 times 25 plus 35,000, 500,000, 568,700, which is my, as of 2025, is my FU money number for being on disability benefits, because they had to add another disability benefit. Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, here's the presentation. And you may notice that for those who are visually able, my entire presentation is Black disabled entrepreneurs. Everywhere. 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 In my presentation. This is the only one where we could actually no. Actually, wait. You know what? I want to say they're all Black. Just some of them are just light skinned or make sure that's the right word. I don't want to say that word if it's not the right word. Oh, it is that word. Really? Okay. Well, I guess so. They could be albino Black. Okay. So yeah, everyone in this picture is Black. I just have to do some internet research to make sure I'm using the right word. Yeah. Everything in here is about being a Black disabled entrepreneur on disability benefits, navigating the disability system in Canada. Yay. From benefits to boss, as we are. It's pretty fantastic. My slides are pretty emotional. Like this one's supposed to represent me. The before picture, it's me putting on. It's not me exactly. It's an AI generated image of the seeing in the image represents a point of my life that when I look at it, I can remember that time of my life. So the before picture where it's a Black woman wearing makeup and she's in a makeup studio. Yeah, when I went to LA to shoot adult films, I was treated like a superstar. I got my hair done. I got my makeup done. I got chauffeured around. It was so nice. And then, oh yeah, I had to have multiple psychotic episodes and end up in the emergency room for a psych evaluation and being told that I need to be admitted as an outpatient. So outpatient was I would show up for the appointment and then I go home and then go back to the appointment. This is where they were trying different multiple sclerosis, not multiple sclerosis, multiple SSRI antidepressants till finally we discovered I work better on the antipsychotic quetiapine brand name Seroquel to manage my bipolar disorder. Where my last doctor's appointment, I asked my doctor if it would be possible to come off of the Seroquel since I've been on it for so long and I felt like it was causing my hypertension, lymphedema health problems. She had a second opinion with a psychiatrist, and we decided because I'm so stable on this prescription, we're going to stay on it. So, and I don't really want to change. So, like, you wean off a medication. Let me stop sharing my screen. If you wean off a medication with your doctor's advice and monitoring and check ins and all that stuff, your body goes through withdrawal. It may be worse than being on the medication, depending on the medication, and also depending on when do you go off of that medication to wean off of it, to have your body not on a medication to maybe start a new one. Because I've been on Seroquel quetiapine since 2010, my body literally only knows that medication. 2010 to 2025, every morning before 8 a.m., I take 250 milligrams XR quetiapine for a slow release. Like it releases the whole day. Ideally, I'm supposed to take it at nighttime, but when I take it at nighttime, I'm too drowsy. So I take it in the daytime and I'm more energy. And my doctor's shocked by it, but these are the results I have with the medication. So because I have really, really good results very quickly on quetiapine, my doctors don't want me to go off of it. Fantastic. When I was on Cymbalta, that thing caused more physical pain than reducing the emotional pain. Me being on quetiapine, I reduced all of the emotional pain. I can 100% say all the emotional pain that I had before going on it is relatively gone. The only reason I'm thinking of going off of it is my logical brain thinks it's causing long-term side effects of other health issues. This is the window of we wait and see, like the weekly blood pressure checks with the nurse that comes in every week to check my blood pressure. I'm showing signs of hypertension and they want to make sure I don't have hypertension. But to do that, you have to change diet and exercise. It's not free. Oh, yeah, not covered by the government either. The government will give me prescription for hypertension, but they won't increase my special diet allowance to include hypertension. Actually, wait, no, it does. No, it does. That's why I'm getting $215. Let me go find that special diet form. It's in there. I saw it. I cannot be full screen here, and I think I can find the document for special diet. I know I've been on for almost 90 minutes, but I also started very, very late. Where is it? ODSP form. I had a whole folder of forms for ODSP. I wonder if I can let me Google it. Oh, good. Special diet. Okay. Can I share it? I think I can. Window, application. It missed something. Hold on. Okay. Window, system audio. Yeah, just in case. Okay. So here is the special diet form for ODSP. And let's have it fit on the page. Fit to width. Okay. So this, you're supposed to get this form from your caseworker. But people that I coach, if I know you're missing your special diet allowance, I will give you this copy of the form. Please print it in color. The reason I say please print it in color, when you get it from the disability office, it comes in color printed. I don't want you to have any troubles, so print the form in color. Go to an internet cafe or the library or wherever and get it printed in color. Because here it says photocopies will not be accepted. And I don't want you to be told you have a photocopy when you have an original because it's printed in black and white. See how there's orange in the form? In section 1 and section 2, orange. So my friend has her caseworker saying that she has to fill out the form. And I think it's where it says local office use only, date received, ODSP, OW, office stamp. But I really, really believe the caseworker does it after you fill out the form and bring it back to them that they received it, not before. Sometimes you get a caseworker that causes more trouble and stress. This is where you have to advocate for yourself really, really good. Okay. So the form is physician fills it out, a registered nurse fills it out, registered dietitian fills it out. Oh, really? The dietitian that comes to my house could fill it out. That's impressive. Or a midwife could fill it out. So when I said hypertension, allergy to wheat, celiac, they give you the highest amount. Where it says where above of both conditions are indicated, only one allowance will be provided. I don't know. Some people get less, some people get more. I don't know why. Plus, the pricing for these items on this special diet form, they do not index to inflation. Diabetes. Here we go. Hyperlipidemia and hypercholesterolidemia hypertension. I have this and this. I'm clicking on it like it's going to check box. It doesn't do that. It's not a fillable form. Then allergy to milk, dairy, lactose intolerant. I have lactose intolerant. We get that. The special diet form. Ooh, there's osteoporosis. Oh, I should check that with my doctor to make sure. Then there's renal failure. There's other syndromes. Chronic hepatitis C. No, those came back negative. Right, those came back negative. The neurologist checked those. Yeah, hepatitis. Then there's here where it says malignancy, multiple sclerosis, and muscle dysmorphia. This is all about how much body weight you're losing. So every time I go to my doctor's office, I step on the scale to see if I'm going down in weight or up in weight. And the reason being, if I go down in weight by 5 or 10% weight loss or 10% weight loss, and because multiple sclerosis is on this list, and because I'm diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, we may or may not, depending on what my weight falls below. So like how it says, what's hepatitis? No. Then it's this one. The one that's weight loss 5% or 10% of loss. And then depending, it's better to get this filled out as indefinite. If you like, because most of these things take a long time to reverse to be healthy. And then, yes, this. So yeah, the whole point of me filling out this form is the whole hypertension, hyperlipidemia, but it says hypercholesterol. I need to Google this one later. It's only because the way they're every week they come in and check my blood pressure, and they keep asking me if I'm on hypertension medication, but I think I need to tell them this one. And then I have to see my doctor in December to go over these two things to make sure we're doing the right thing. Yeah. So that is what, like, my brain doesn't want to know this information, but I had to figure out to make that information less stressful for me to understand when I'm dealing with ODSP. And yeah. Okay. So what did we do so far on my show notes? Where are we? Okay. So the plan was, we talked about disability or poverty presentation coming up in December. I put their link to their website in chat, which is on the screen here. Well, why did I do that? Oh, well, I gave you the English link. And people in chat been asking questions. Thank you very much for your participation in Guatemala. And top fan, Guatemala. I added G. I keep adding a G to your name. Like, what? Yeah, I'm adding a G to Guatemala's name. Which makes the name completely different. I'm well aware. It's just the way my brain sometimes operates. So we did 4. Okay, Dave Ramsey, baby steps. Yes, I'm baby step 2. We're paying off my disability overpayment first. Then we contribute to the registered disability savings plan. Between the two of them, main reason why it makes sense to focus on it is because if I pay down my disability overpayment, the $81.15 that they take back once a month, here's a calculator. Wait, 81.15 times 12, $973.80 that I do not have in my household budget to budget in the budget that I need to live my life. Because it's going back to the government for the overpayment that I need to pay off. So I get all of the monies for it. And then every year in July, ODSP payments are indexed to inflation. When they index the total amount with inflation, they also index the payment they collect for my overpayment. So every year I'm losing like $2 or $3 added on to the minimum payment. So like if it's $81 now, they add $3 and it becomes $84 of overpayment money they collect for 12 months. They take back $1,008. I could use that money somewhere else. This is why my baby step order of my baby steps for Dave Ramsey are moved around a little bit because of the order of what's important. And then as soon as the disability overpayment is paid off and I free up that $1,000 out of the budget from my ODSP payment and it indexes to inflation, I have more income to pay off debt, invest, save, exit off disability benefits. Yeah, because The main thing with disability benefits that they control is that shelter allowance is, hold on, let me find it. Where's my pay stub? We use this one. I don't know how they think I'm supposed to make this into a 1 hour presentation. I don't know, man. Okay, so on the spreadsheet, which I have to upload this version, this copy into the Ko-Fi store. I put my exact pay stub I get from ODSP in the spreadsheet so that you, when you get a copy of it, all the green boxes you would change. The box that it says in column C and D, row 151, no, 115. I don't know, 151 came from 115, row 115, column C and D is the ODSP work-related benefit, section 9.18. Do not touch that spot. That spot is not for you to, don't even, you know what? I'm gonna make it black. Because if you go in there and fiddle with it, you ruin all the whole thing. I could just leave it that way. Actually, no, can I? Will this work? Actually, no, it needs to be numbers. Right. Leave the places that need to be numbers. Okay, so here's my disability overpayment. I get $809 for basic needs calculation. $599 is shelter. My rent is $995.06 or $994. Great. Where's my budget? Rent. Yeah, $994.06. That's why I keep saying $995. Clearly, the $599 is not covering my shelter. So that means the rest of shelter for my rent comes out of the basic needs allowance, because if it's $994.06 minus $599, $395.06 is not covered. So that has to come out of $395.06 shelter, basic needs. Shelter is maxed out. Then the rest of it comes from basic needs, $809. Then there's $413.94 that's supposed to last me the entire month. I have tenant insurance, cell phone. Where's the other budget? Share this tab. So this is housing. The amount of stuff in my housing budget that has to cover from ODSP that's not being covered by ODSP of why I work self-employed. The math doesn't work no matter how many ways we look at what ODSP gives you. It's never the cost of living. It's never like it's no longer survivable either in today's economy for rising cost of food, rising cost of transportation, rising cost of medications. Then they nitpick which medications they cover in the health insurance. Like the muscle relaxers that I was taking that I no longer can take because they increased my heart rate wasn't covered by ODSP. I was paying $26.67 for 30 pills. I did it twice. So that means a little over $50 was gone on a prescription that ODSP was not going to cover. Okay, great. I'm not taking it anymore because it raises my heart rate, but that's $53.34 gone of taking care of myself that ODSP is not taking care of. And then, annoyingly, my mother's voice is in my head, but it should be covered by the government. It is not. Same thing I say back to her too. It is not being covered by the government, and we need to stop wishing for it to be covered by the government. They've already decided they're not going to cover it. I've said a version of that to her directly. Yes, it did. I wish people fully understood what this is. I really wish they did. Because it's not what you think it's going to be. There's new waves of people on Twitter, X, that are posting how they've become disabled and they're realizing how bad the disability system is for them to access services and supports they need because they're newly disabled. Either they've been diagnosed with something or something has happened to them where they are physically disabled. Those are typically the major. Mine was a diagnosis. Then I know people that end up getting into an accident where they're now a wheelchair user. Then they have to adjust their whole life around the wheelchair, and then access to supports as being disabled. Because typically what happens, which I wish more people will just say it out loud, if you had a job and then become disabled, legally, yes, your job is supposed to provide you disability accommodations. It doesn't mean they actually will, because they find ways not to do it, because they come with excuses like it's too expensive. But they already hired you as the employee. They already said they would invest in you as an employee to work in their company. And then you become disabled, and then the job is like, oh, crush, we can't do anything to help you. Then it goes into a legal battle back and forth between you and your job and the lawyer. Then, when you're waiting for short-term disability to come in, guess what happens? You end up on Ontario Works, which is welfare. Then, guess what? Your lawyer says to apply for ODSP. Then you, needing money and probably spent all your savings, you apply for Ontario Works. Then you ask your caseworker, because you probably told your caseworker, I'm going on Ontario Works because I became disabled. Then the caseworker will say, hey, here's your application for ODSP. It automatically comes in that conversation. I don't I know it's fresh in my mind. 3 people that I've met in 2 years went through that process. They had a job. They liked their job. Actually, no, 4. Right, 4 people. Right, lady in the wheelchair in the small town. Yeah, the, I could talk about it. I could live it, but it's not going to happen unless we all do something about it. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so I can go on a long rant. Since I need to breathe, I'm going to play my new video that I made for the presentation. That would be in the full presentation, Disability Without Poverty. Stop sharing that slide. When I went over here, I don't know if it went on my screen. I have no idea what it did. Okay, video. Where's the video recording? Oh, there it is. I think it's this one. Okay. Chat. We'll play this video and then we're done for the day, and I'll see you next Saturday. Okay, so play. No. Okay. Let me restart that one. Okay, don't need this. I don't need that anymore. I already showed you this. I want to show you how the math works of why I work on disability benefits. Okay, share, window, media player with the audio, play. Welcome to slide 12, ODSP Self-Employment Net Income Calculator Demo Walkthrough. On the screen right now is my custom-built Google Sheets Excel spreadsheet. This is where we get practical. As a digital entrepreneur, I sell a digital download spreadsheet in my business that helps entrepreneurs, including myself, navigate the Ontario Disability Support Program, ODSP, Self-Employment Net Income Calculations. I love this spreadsheet, and I'm very proud I created it. It has taken me many years of work to make it simple enough to help me and others manage business net income. And some people have used it to estimate their ODSP employment net income reporting obligation, but I specifically made it for self-employment net income. Before we dive into the numbers, let's head over to cell B59. It has motivational text waiting for us. It says, do it for your future self. Pink emoji with stars. Pink heart emoji with stars. This spreadsheet is packed with links ODSP policy directives and CRA guidelines for your tax obligations and reporting obligations to keep you organized and focus on your goals. For this demo, we assume that the entrepreneur has already completed the first step, calculating their business net income by diligently keeping receipts and tracking business expenses. ODSP recipients must use the cash accounting method of income recording for ODSP income and expense reporting purposes. Under this method, income is recorded when it is received, and expenses are recorded when bills are paid. Hence, accounts receivable, post-dated checks, credit sales, IOUs, promissory notes are not considered income in the month received until they are cashed. And accounts payable, bills, invoices, business supplies delivered before being paid for are not considered business expenses until paid. This is quoted from ODSP Policy Directive 5.4, Self-Employment Income. We are starting with business net income. The goal of this spreadsheet is to help you figure out how to apply the standard ODSP net earnings exemptions, the first $1,000 of net income earnings threshold, strategic compliance, and executive function. It is vital to understand that ODSP business net income calculation is distinct from the net profit you report to the Canada Revenue Agency, CRA. ODSP has specific approved business expenses and a list of non-approved business expenses that often confuse people reporting to two government agencies, ODSP and CRA. Let's be clear, when your business is profitable and growing, you should focus on the core business tasks, correctly filing your business financial reports to the Canada Revenue Agency. Once that is complete, send a copy to your ODSP caseworker. Their job is to follow ODSP Policy Directive 5.4, Self-Employment Income, and apply the specific calculations to determine your eligibility for income support and benefits. By delegating this complex calculation to your caseworker, it frees up a lot of executive function and headspace for you to focus on personal development, business research and development, R&D. Then you can focus on business growth while achieving financial peace, freedom, and sovereignty. We must understand these rules because we are eligible for the Ontario Disability Support Program, but once our business is making revenue, it is self-sustaining, profitable, and growing its investment portfolio, we start creating a future that is built on empowerment, not eligibility. Ontario Disability Support Program policy allows for deductions for childcare and disability-related expenses. Those deductions vary based on individual circumstances. This spreadsheet does not calculate those final deductions. It is purely based on being a single benefit unit member receiving ODSP income support and benefits. Instead, this tool calculates your chargeable income before ODSP specific deductions. For the final precise figures, you must always consult with your ODSP caseworker and reference the Policy Directive 5.4 Self-Employment. I'm going to walk through an example of how ODSP self-employment net income calculations work using the spreadsheet based on achieving my personal goal of 5,000 Canadian dollars of business gross income before allowable expenses. So now on the screen in cell D61 says $5,000. It's under cell D59 for business gross income month, and on the right of it is column E, and in column E59 it says approved business expenses 75%. I chose 75% because it makes the math simple, and it's also a reminder of the clawback rate deduction of ODSP 75% for over $1,000. I wanted to keep the math as simple as possible. So if my business made $5,000 Canadian, Then 75% of that would be 3,750, and my net income would become 1,250. The 1,250 is over $1,000. So $250 in the next column G would be $250. And then at the rate of 75% deduction from ODSP, that would be $187.50. The next column I has the last month's payment amount for me in my pay stub, which is $1,697.85. ODSP would add a $100 work-related benefit. That's column J. To qualify for the $100 work-related benefit as a small business self-employed, the business would have to make a net profit over $100, and it did with the net profit of $1,250. Then ODSP would give me $1,610.35 because from the deduction of $187.50, it's reducing the $1,697.85, which is what makes it this $1,610.35. So the next column L, this is my business net income plus ODSP's payment for a total amount of $2,860.35. If I did this for 12 months in a row in a wonderful imaginary land, that would be $34,324.20. That concludes our walkthrough of the ODSP self-employment net income calculation. I hope this demo has shown you the power to understand the Ontario Disability Support Program details. Yay! I don't know why it took me years to make that video. Like, to explain it, the walkthrough, the disclaimer of being on ODSP, how the rules work with ODSP. Like, if for self-employment, you qualify for the $100 work-related benefit when your business earns over $100. If your business is net negative, so net profit is a negative number, like you're in the red after you make income, you have your expenses for your business, and then your business spent more money than it made, and you have a negative number, you wouldn't qualify for the $100 work-related benefit, even though you did the whole month of working in the previous month before of work. So most people don't understand this. ODSP is really trying to get you to work and be successful at work and showing the habit of reporting your income, reporting the numbers of your business, keeping track of receipts, keeping track of records, which is baby steps training for the Canada Revenue Agency when you really think about it. But yeah, the video is done. I like it. I mean, you know how hard it is to make that video under 8 minutes? Because there's a lot. Let me show you what the spreadsheet looks like. Why I'm like, oh my God, it's 8 minutes. The full spreadsheet looks like, where is it? This. I know, I said this without sharing my screen. It looks like this. Is this it? Okay, it looks like this. There's a lot of stuff on it. There's a lot on it. There's my social media handles, Minnie on Cam. Then there's a quote for a part of all you earn is yours to keep. It should not be more than less than a tenth, no matter how little you earn. It can be as much more as you can afford. Pay yourself first. That is from the Richest Man in Babylon quote. I put that in there because I want people to understand that this is your money. How like in the spreadsheet, it has a lot of highlighting in yellow of your income. And your income and your income and your income, because I wanted people to understand of where is your income. And the reason it says ODSP direct deposit highlighted in orange, it's sometimes your income and sometimes it's not your income. Like business revenue is not your income because you still have expenses. You've set aside money for taxes. Then you pay yourself a salary. So gross income is not your income until after you meet all your financial obligations. Yep. And I work really, really hard on getting this spreadsheet done. You may have seen different variations of it. Like I got it good enough to work to do the math and I would work with it. Like January, one of my old screenshots showed up that I owed an overpayment of $350 because I made over $200 net income profit in a month. The December 2022. Yeah, December 2022. I made more money, and no matter what I did, it, like going over my receipts, business expenses, then going over where did my income come from, I couldn't not see the profit I made. So the profit I made in my business that one year just triggered the overpayment for ODSP. Then they gave me a reminder, oh, I've reported my income too late after the 7th of the month. So ODSP has monthly reporting. You have to report what you earned we're in October, up the spreadsheet. So yeah, this part of this, I didn't go over this part of the spreadsheet that's there, where I have a calendar for the whole year. We're in October now. Next payment date is October 31st. So whatever I earned in September, so September 1st, December 30th is reported in October by October 7. And then whatever I earn in October is reported by November 7. And it's always this weird, you get paid 1 month in advance and then you're recording income you earned in the month in the past. So you feel like you're behind. This is the way they set their payroll payment schedule. Then I always make sure I remind myself I can earn $1,000 on ODSP. They change that February 2023. And I put that memo right here. As of February 1st, 2023, if you're a person with a disability, you can earn up to $1,000 a month through employment without it affecting your ODSP income support, benefits, or eligibility. This change will be reflected in March 2023 payment. Now, if you're a person without a disability who's in the household with the person with the disability who is eligible for ODSP, if you, the person without the disability, earned over $200, then your ODSP payment for the household for the person with the disability is reduced at the rate. Where is it again? Share this tab. Where's the deduction rate? Yeah. See, if non-disabled spouse or child 18 years or older who's not attending high school or post-secondary education full-time, you can receive $200 a month in net earnings with no reduction to income support. It said 50%. This is why I don't get married. I said this last time, but I really mean it. Because it would cause so much trouble with my earnings with ODSP that I don't want to go through, that I have to go dig around the policy to find, where is it? Here, 50%. Oh, my screen reader wants us to read it. Oh, would it work? No, I want to know if that worked. Oh no, I won't know if it worked until I watch the replay. Man, because I changed screen reader. I found a different one that it's actually more affordable and the voices are not that bad. They all sound like human. And I don't have to like go from a free robot-y voice to a premium, good sounding voice like Natural Reader. But the Natural Reader, I think I can use their AI voices for my online courses to help with the speaking of the material. Yeah. So that is, did I lose the image? I think I did. All right, what was the other thumbnail? So hold on. I made 2 thumbnails for this. Hello, where are we? Right there. I made 2 thumbnails for my live stream, and they both are illustrating the maze, golden maze. In the golden maze, there's a golden goose. The golden goose is your business because you have to feed the golden goose to keep producing the golden eggs, which is the income. And I'm a Black disabled Canadian, and all my people in the golden maze are Black too. And we are just trying to get it out there so we can call Jumanji. So, Jumanji, if you're wondering why I'm laughing so hard, is exiting Ontario Disability Support Program. The maze represents the policies and navigation of government policies for being disabled, low income, poor, in poverty. And there's a way out if you know what you're doing and want to do it and have the energy and capacity and knowledge to do it, or the support system. Like digital businesses. You yourself don't have to operate your digital business. Your family could operate your digital business and pay you a salary out of the digital business. This is why I love the digital business. This is why I need to talk more about it in 2026. Like if my business makes a certain amount of income, I can hire employees. You be working for me in my company when the company is established to a certain revenue point in the business. The business would buy health insurance. The business who's buying the health insurance from a monthly premium based on how many employees I have and how much revenue the business is making. Like I have to fit their criteria to go to the private health insurance company to buy the health insurance that will be given to me, the owner of the company, and the employees in the company. Ideally, I thought I would have 3 to 5 employees in the company and me, and the company's making enough money where it's paying for health insurance so that if the employees are also on Ontario Disability Support Program and they're working in the digital business, we can not need all of the benefits of the Ontario government because the company is paying for the health insurance. Which is also, I talk about it in detail? No, I talk about the 6 options of health insurance in the presentation with Disability Without Poverty, but I will make a full video of the 6 and how they all work for the YouTube channel in 2026, because there's things in my presentation where certain slides need me to go in more detail so that people understand what is in the maze. If you've ever watched Indiana Jones, The Mummy, there's clues that they can get out of the maze and live in the maze. Jumanji is the same way. They have to work together in Jumanji. The Mummy, they have to solve all the clues and the riddles. Same thing with magicians. Really? Yeah, the keys, the 5 keys. Every supernatural fantasy show that has a problem-solving storyline in the show, I've watched and I realize that is the exact same thing of navigating Ontario Disability Support Program. So I had to put it together. This is why I'm trying to put it together in 6 different variations so you can understand it. This is why I like AI helping me understand it for you so I don't have to use all my brain power to do it. This is the power of a digital business and digital tools and digital resources. So I can, deliver the content, teach the audience, teach the people, so I can go rest. When I press play, I've gone away from my computer. I'm telling you that right now. When I play any of these videos here, I've left and I press play. I took a breather, I catch my breath, and I come back. That is literally how my business operates. It's me and a video. It's me and a sales funnel. It's me and online courses. It's all the other videos on my YouTube channel that help me get monetized. Yeah, I have a full digital workforce working for me, and I only want to hire like 3 to 5 people in my company. That's it. And not even, I don't think I'll get to 5. Actually, no, I'll get 5 so that the main 3 have a substitute. So depending what job roles the 3 are, yeah, there'll be 2 spares. Yes, I think it'll work. Me included, but the 5 are my replacements. So the 3, there's 2 replacements. Yes, I think it'll work because I need to really focus on it with my business coach in the new year, definitely. But yeah, we're at the closing segment now because I will repeat myself in repetition. But if you've gotten value out of this episode, we talked about, debt may be part of your story, but it doesn't define our future. Well, my future. I don't know about yours. Whether it's ODSP, Ontario Disability Support Program, credit cards, I have 4 credit cards, medical bills. I have future medical bills. I don't have medical bills now. I have future ones. Dental, vision, physiotherapist, acupuncture, therapy, blood work. Yeah, I have future medical bills. Then I'm hoping my sinking fund savings account will be able to pay for them in the future. We can pay it down the same way anyone else can. This is the one thing about the Dave Ramsey baby steps. Yeah, you may be on disability benefits, but once you know what you can and cannot do on disability benefits, focus all your energy on what you can do so that when you hit the number above the limitations of the disability benefits, you can tell them to suck it. If you've seen the journey from 2018 till now, I'm a completely different person. That's just what it is. Okay. Anyone else can pay down their debt. So we can too. And our registered disability savings plans is not an afterthought. It's an active thing in my budget, if you have not noticed, since I got it opened in 2020. And now there's $118,000 in there. Where's that calculator? Oh, it's in a different spreadsheet. It's in network share. So I have a profile on network share where I track my net worth, which is assets minus liabilities equals net worth. And if the net worth is over $1 million, I'm a millionaire. Surprisingly, I can be a millionaire and still be on disability benefits if it's inside my registered disability savings plan. So, yeah, this is going to be fun the next 5 years or so. Because net worth last update, we had $117 and $117,367.02 in my registered disability savings plan. I will put that number in chat or on the screen. I'll put it on the screen. Which one? I'll have to make a new one. Okay, hold on. So my RDSP for September 2025 balance was 117,306. Wait, is that the right number? No, it's not. Wait, hold on. 67. There we go. And 2 cents. I like my pennies. We're keeping them. With compound interest, good investments, me contributing to the registered disability savings plan consistently with dollar cost averaging, which means you basically put aside a certain amount of money every single month, no matter what the stock market is doing, into your investments. So it goes up and down in the market like a roller coaster. And then when I need it, the year I turned 59 or 60, then we determine how much is in there. And I still have from now until the age 49 to get the rest of the disability savings bonds and grants and future growth of the stock market, the economy, and who's in charge of what country and what company comes up and which company moves up the stock market, top 500, S&P 500 or S&P 60. That's just how that works. I don't control the movement of my stock portfolio. All I do, I log in, see who performed really well, either on the team or I sell them off and I buy a different stock. That is it. That is investing in the shortest way possible, I can tell you. And sometimes it's very boring. Like it's straight up sometimes really boring. Wait, chat, hold on. Yes, yes. Millions in registered disability savings plan could be exempt because I'm gonna show you the legal documentation that says it. RDSP, ODSP, Policy Directive 4.10, and then treatment of income or assets. Treatment of assets, right? Treatment of assets, not income. It's treatment of assets. So for this question, it would be this answer. Okay, so summary of the directive. So this is Registered Disability Savings Plan 4.10, treatment of RDSP asset contribution withdrawals, interest, Canada Disability Savings Grants, Canada Savings Bond is explained. Now, I'll put this link in chat. You are free to go look at it more after I give you my explanation of something that I've looked at, forgot about it, and then sometimes I have to go back and look at it because they'll change something without notice. To encourage families and individuals to plan for the future of people with disabilities by fully exempting, right here. Oh, right, my screen reader. Wait, can it read it? Hold on, give me a minute. I need to make sure I can read the screen. Okay, audio's there. Okay, I need the AI voice to read this. Okay, I don't need to read the whole thing. I like to talk too. So here, all funds held in a registered disability savings plan are exempt as assets when assessing eligibility for ODSP income support. There is no maximum apply to this exemption. Let me put this on the screen. There is no maximum to this exemption. Can I share? Oh, I can do that. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, man. There is no maximum to this exemption. So this is like the last 5 years of my registered disability statement was difficult because a lot of it was spending time educating my family why it was important for them to give me money that goes directly into my registered disability savings plan that I cannot touch until 10 years from now. Because the disability savings plan has a lot of rules created by the federal government that are different from Ontario Disability Support Program. Because I'm eligible for Ontario Disability Support Program and the disability tax credit from the federal government, I have to remember both of these stupid rules. I don't like doing it. Treatment of income and RDSPs. The following is exempt as income. Let's have this thing read it because I don't want to read it. And I'm going to change your voice. Grace, you're up next. Grace is up next. And here we go. Yes. Yes. Oh, this is good. This is very good. Basically, keep all your receipts all the time because this is magic for me. Because my business is going to, hold on. Now there's Guatemala. Okay. Hopefully they don't change the conditions because, How I know this is why I was excited and also panicking all at the same time. So my RDSP, if I log in and check it right now, it's like $117 or $118. It's six figures, but it's getting to six figures where it's closer to 150,000. I'll put that number in chat and then I'll share it on the screen because apparently I learned I can do that. So it's getting closer to 150 and I'm 40 years old. Then I'm supposed to take out money out of my registered disability savings plan in the year I'm going to turn 60, which calculator math would be 2045, 20 years from now. I'm supposed to take it out because I'm 40 now. 20 years from now, I'm supposed to take out the money. Ideally, I do not want to be on ODSP. I'll still get Trillium drug benefit plan because it's part of the government and it's automatically given to people that are over the age of 65. But when you're not on ODSP and you still need insurance covered for like my MS medication because it's already covered by the Ontario government, it just moves into the Exceptional Access Program, which is the Ontario Drug Formulary, which is Ontario Drug Benefit Program. They already cover me. That's not going to stop. Same thing with the bipolar medication. They already pay for it. Is all the new stuff. New stuff, they'll cover some of them. They will cover partial. They'll cover none of them. The new stuff. But I also want to buy a home. So if my disability savings plan is at a certain income level of investment and it's producing, because the dividends in my RDSP, some of them have been $3,800 just like in there. So if I take that out and I leave the principal and let it grow, okay. Because basically I live on my registered disability savings plan from the time I take it out and age 60 till pretty much I pass away. And then anything left over, it has to be in my will and I got to disperse it in the estate and all the estate planning. But for the most part, I plan to spend almost every penny out of my registered disability savings plan when I turn 60. That is the plan. That is the mission. This is the point of not having children. And then not being married. It's mine. Yay. And then I have to hire my executor, my like corporate executor to manage all my estates and execute all my final wishes. And then I go travel and live my life and do all the things. But these rules, they keep me up at night. They do. Like here, RDSP structure. RDSPs consist of contributions are limited to a lifetime amount of 200,000. My contribution so far in my budget, which is this, we've deposited so far 20,925 in the disability savings plan, like my actual money and sometimes mom, dad, and grandma, but mostly my money. I did the math because yes, my family will be like, oh, I gave you money for this and I gave you money for that, but I have to report what they give me to disability office. So the way my family acts like they gave me so much money, yeah, you did, but I reported it to the government. So like, it's not a big number as they think it is, the exaggeration of them being Caribbean. Because it's reported to the government. I just don't know how they act like, oh, I give you so much money. I appreciate it, but the government has given me 68,700. It's nowhere near what my family has given me out of the 20,925. And each time they deposit a grant on bond, it has to stay in there for 10 years. If I take it out, I have to pay the government back. So this has to stay in there and cook. And then when it's ready, I can eat it. Probably literal, because it's going to go to food. Like living expenses, medical expenses, property taxes, a car, maybe. That's what this money is for. And then I've been trying to roughly keep track of how much money I've been getting from it. But it's been I have to call CRA and ask them, but I don't want to be on hold for 3 hours trying to ask them where it is. And then, yeah. So I already got the letter of statement of entitlement. It said deposit $1,950. The government will deposit $4,400. The government already deposited $1,200. The government put in $1,200 so far. And then usually my Canada disability benefit money, the $200, goes into my registered disability savings plan. I did that twice, July and August. That happened. And then now with the debt payoff, I want to pay off my credit card debt because when we look at the dashboard of my budget, I pay down in credit cards this year so far $4,169.20. Remember, Dave Ramsey says your income is your most powerful wealth building tool. Now I understand what that means. When I had no money to invest or save or barely make it to the end of the month, I didn't really care for that phrase of Dave Ramsey saying my income is my most powerful wealth building tool. But now that the net worth is growing, here's the chart. The chart is moving in a good direction of up and up. It's not going to go down that much. It went down a little bit here. December 2024, it went down to 100,000. But it's now, the assets are 129,219. That's all the money that's in there, not including my debt. My debt total is 16,466. Once I pay off that debt money and I keep 2 credit cards because I need 2 trade lines to go into qualifying for a mortgage and keep my credit score over 680 and have a down payment of 5 to 20% because I would like to be a homeowner. That way, if I have a live-in nurse, she's living in a nice 2-bedroom apartment with me instead of this 1-bedroom government, not government. I'm in a neighborhood that has government housing, but people think this building is government housing. I don't want to live here just because of that reason and other reasons. So I would like to buy my condo on the water and enjoy life. I'm more of making home the best environment for me. So when I travel and come back, I can't wait to come home. Travel for me be cruise ships, retreats for work, personal development, and anything that's about making more money online. I keep it pretty simple. That's just the way life is for me. Keep it simple. I don't have to remember a lot. And I don't have to plan for travel every 2 seconds. Oh, that was the plan? Oh, I have to change this date. Because I was trying to use all of my Canada disability benefit money to go into the disability savings plan. But because of the muscle spasms that happened in August, it changed the entire plan. Now that I have feels like a temporary solution, permanent solution of managing my muscle spasms with the over-the-counter Robaxin, which is methocarbamol. The generic name. When you go in your drugstore, you see Robaxin, look for generic. Read the label of the ingredient, the one that starts with methocarbamol. That one. I'm taking that with aspirin right now. It's been working really, really good. Really, really good. It almost lasted me 12 hours of not having a full-blown muscle spasm to the point my hand makes a claw. So now, from October 18 to the end of the year, it's all about paying down my disability overpayment, which is where? This part of my budget? Yeah, disability overpayment, $1,710.11. And then finish contributing $1,550 to the registered disability savings plan. Then January, we will go after the credit cards. I'm only paying 2 of them off and closing 2, and I'm keeping 2. So 2026, October, ideally, could I be debt-free in October next year? I think I can. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, we have a lot of work to do. But I also wrote myself a letter that I want my net worth to be 200,000 next year in October. So like, think about it. Saturday live stream, October 2026. I do a budget check-in video and we find out my net worth is closer to $200,000 next year. Yeah, your most powerful wealth building tool is your income, because I see it happening every time I log into my accounts. I'm like, ooh, look, it's bigger. Whether I save more money, I invest more money, or I have more savings and investings growing more with interest. And oh yeah, disability already covered interest growth in my investments and savings accounts if it adds to my asset limits being on ODSP. It's already covered. I'll talk about it next week. All right. So yeah, like, share, subscribe. I think I had it here. Yes. Closing thoughts. I know I have a lot of thoughts, but I will see you on the next one. Smooches. Bye.